Hey guys, welcome again to the Track and Field Thing Zone. If you're here for the first time, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit the like icon if you are liking this video, and of course hit that notification bell so you can always stay tuned to what's happening on the Track and Field Thing Zone. I just want to tell you, to my returning subscribers and those who are just here for the first time, appreciate your support, appreciate it. Get this video to 50 thumbs up, 50 likes that is. I am so appreciative of your support. Today I'm going to be talking about the ISO Boys and Girls Championships, rather known as the Inter-Secondary School Association Boys and Girls Championships, affectionately called by many Jamaicans champs, and it's an event better witnessed than described. So if you ever decide to go to Jamaica, it will be really nice if you go around, say, late March, early April, to really get to see this event. Trust me, it's an amazing event. But this year it was held on March 28th through April 1, and it was held at the National Stadium. And it is an awesome event where various schools, 100 schools, I believe, compete against each other, and it's all about trying to help their school to get into the winning position. This year winners was Hydel, and for the girls and for the boys it was Kingston College. Trust me, multi-talented, all athletes are talented, but it's a fierce battle between these schools. And two particular activities that took place for me was Alana Reid, her 100 meter 10.94, and of course Buwaji and Krumi winning his 100 meter in 9.99. Guys, it's amazing. It was indeed amazing. And yeah, but today I wanted to talk about an event that took place. There are many things that have taken place at the Boys and Girls Champs, but and some are good, most are good, but there was something that happened that kind of posed a negative light, or rather shed a negative light on this amazing event, and I'm going to be showing you in a video. And it's about showboating. Now, for me, I don't have a problem with showboating. I honestly don't have it. But I have a problem with how it's done. And I think this is something that ought to be addressed to these athletes. Remember, they're young. A lot of them are not understanding, what can happen. Like they don't really think about the after effect. They're just in the zone of victory and winning their rivals, varied school rivals, and not thinking that this particular thing that you did can have a negative effect, can cause bad things to happen, can escalate into something that may, cause a fight, rather escalate into a fight, and can cause problems or issues. And that is something that we don't want, because this is now global. A lot of persons tune in from abroad to watch, and persons travel to Jamaica just to see this amazing event. And so I think showboating is something that needs to be addressed. How it's done, that's the problem. Because as I stated, I don't have a problem with an athlete going and, doing their thing. That's their business. But how it is done. So I'm going to proceed to show you a video. And guys, I want you to comment and tell me what you think about it. I like hearing from you. Your comment means a lot to me. Sometimes you're seeing something from a particular perspective, and then somebody comes in now and says, hey, this and that, and then you're like, okay. So please go ahead and comment. So I'm going to be showing you the video, and just give me your comments about it, because I'm going to give you my 2 cents as well. Now the athlete in blue is from St. Mary's College. He's Tevar Hammond, and he celebrates with his finger gun gesture towards Dintil Technicals, Javier Morrison, as he crosses the finish line in the 1500-meter decathlon event during the ISA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships at the National Stadium. Now, I must say I am not happy with how the St. Mary College athlete, I'm not happy with what he did. It's okay, you want to show sport, I'm sorry, you want to not sportsmanship, because that's not sportsmanship. You want to celebrate, you want to showboat, okay, fine, showboat, but know how to do it. And this was not done in the right way at all. Now guys, I'm watching the video and I'm like, what? Why did he have to do it in that manner? This is what I'm talking about, guys. It's about how you do it. Now I want you to look at this video, yeah? And I want you to realize that his fingers, because he did the gun gesture, and that just seems to be something that is normalized there. It's gun gesture. And fine, he is celebrating, but guys, his fingers were almost in the young man's face. Now, can you imagine yourself as an athlete running your race, focusing on the finish line, and then this other athlete just pass you by and put his fingers almost in your face? This could have escalated into a fight. This could have gone and blow up into something that did not even have to happen. I must say that this boy had a level of self-control, because based on how it was done, it could be a case where he just grabbed his hand and said, what are you doing? You could also see that the athlete, his focus shifted, he slowed down, he was in awe and at the same time in bewilderment as to what is it that, what are you doing? You know, and when I looked at the video and I saw the comments, some persons were like, oh, there's no big deal. It's no big deal if there's nothing about it. And then there was other persons who were condoning, like, oh, fine, he did it. He's not the only person who did it. Other persons do it in different sports. And then there were persons who were disagreeing, like, oh, I'm disagreeing, because I'm disagreeing with this, because it doesn't matter if it's done there or here. It's about how it's done, and how this particular showboating was done. I was not okay with it. So I was like, what's going to be done about it? And I'm so glad that they took necessary steps regarding this particular thing that was done. And I must say, I was upset. I was like, I was just putting myself in this young man's shoe. And I'm like, I wouldn't want another athlete to do that to me. I would be utterly upset. I would be angry, as a matter of fact. But I must applaud the young man, you know, for not really getting upset. Or even if he was upset, because I know he was upset, but not really allowing it to get the best of him and to just, you know, allow it to escalate into something that could have, you know, cause us to really, you know, or rather escalate it into a fight. So I wanted to see if they were going to do something, or I wanted to see if somebody was going to say something about it, because what happened between these two athletes, you know, what that St. Mary athlete did was not right. And so Grace Kennedy were warning and saying that they could pull their sponsorship from Champs over indiscipline. So the chief executive officer of Grace Kennedy, Don Webby, he warned that they could pull their sponsorship from Champs if indiscipline among and by athletes continue to mar the 5-day track and field spectacle. It's also, you guys, I just want to let you all know that Grace Kennedy is in the region, their sponsorship is in the region of $170 million. So if it's a case where they should pull their sponsorship, it's going to be a problem. And finding another suitable replacement, that's also going to be an issue, right? And I am so happy that, you know, he went ahead to say something. Because I was saying, no, when I was, looking and observing, I was like, something needs to be stated about this or done about it, have some kind of boundaries, some kind of policy needs to be in place, because I believe that this, if it continues, it can escalate into something that can really shed a bad light on this 5-day event. He stated that he's not going to be associated with champs if indiscipline continues. And guys, I just want to say, I'm showing you one, but there was also another incident which caused another athlete to be suspended, right? And the incident, Kingston College, that was suspended from the championships after a confrontation with a color bar athlete, right? So this is something, and I'm so grateful that this person, the CEO, Mr. Webby, is talking about it and actually said he's going to go back to the drawing board basically and talk about policies regarding indiscipline, because I believe there ought to be boundaries, and these athletes need to understand that when you are competing, you have to know what you do. You have to also know how you do. It's also about what you say as well. You need to be careful, because you don't want things to escalate into something that can shed a bad light on this spectacular 5-day event. Now I want to say that this particular event is a part of the educational process of the schools, of the high school students. And education, it must not be forgotten as a social and as well as a cognitive matter. And this means that as it relates to education, it's not simply about getting your arithmetic correct and spelling and, all of that stuff. An important part of education is, of course, living in a community. And it's about elevating and understanding what is appropriate from what is not appropriate, right? And that's related to behavior. And it matters little what the intent of, the student athlete, when they just gesticulated in that manner. What is of far more importance is the message. And this is something that a lot of people need to understand. The message, with people looking on, take from the gesture. Now, the message which many may have received is that gun is an instrument of celebration and that it is most appropriate, And if no one tells our high school students that mimicking or gesticulating this gun salute is not appropriate behavior, especially when they see it around them all the time, they will internalize this behavior as appropriate. Right? And it's not because a particular behavior is demonstrated or it's widespread in a particular, it's done and it's okay. That means it's appropriate. To me, it's not appropriate. But then again, it is how it's done. It is how it's done, because I've heard a lot of persons talking about this gun salute thing. It's this gun gesture, rather. It is, normalizing that gun is okay in Jamaica and all of that. But for me, I think it's how it's done. And we have to be careful as well, because this is a global event. And I'm not saying it's a global event, but this is an event that many people from across the world are watching. And we have to be careful. They have to be careful about what they do and certain things that are done there. So I agree with the CEO, Mr. Webby, about creating policies and setting boundaries as it relates to certain indiscipline and certain behaviors that take place there. And something ought to be done quickly before it escalates into something bad. And as I stated, guys, you can give your comment, talk about, how you feel about this, what you think about this particular behavior. If you don't say, all right, fine, it's no big deal, or do you say, nah, something ought to be done, something needs to be done, right? Go ahead and share your comments. And of course, I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. Remember to subscribe, hit that bell. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Track and field is such a beautiful thing. And track and field is such a beautiful thing. And I believe that it is very important that it remains that way rather than causing something bad. And I would rather it stay that way. And it's very important that all its affiliates come together and ensure that we have a wonderful, or everyone have a wonderful experience. And for this particular event, for this beautiful event that has drawn the attention of many individuals in Jamaica and across the world, I believe it is something that should remain that way, and whatever needs to be done for it to remain beautiful, attractive, so we can see clean and beautiful track and field events. I believe varied policies, varied boundaries, understanding and education as it relates to what to do and how to do it, as it relates to showboating, you know, I believe something ought to be done, and quickly, before something bad happens. As always, thanks for watching. Till then, see you in the next video.